Okay, let's go. For me, Sarah's reprisal completely goes, the credit goes to Prasad Putluri and Bhaskar. Without them, I don't think I would have experimented at all. And I feel that Bhaskar's faith in himself, that he can carry off a blockbuster hit in Tamil winningly, and the fact that Putluri sir had a vision that he can make that work with all the audience in Tamil, that itself was pretty impressive. That made me run the risk of reprising the same character. I have already done one remake where I have played the character that another artist has played in Chennai Orunal. Kadal Sandhya played a character called Aditi, which I reprised in Tamil. So I've already done one kind, and the second kind, of course, is reprising the same role. And now I've done that too, and I think I'm done with my experiment now. It was a safe space for me to do this experiment, actually. Yeah, when I did the original, I had no clue what it is like to. First of all, I tried to tackle the physical just to get an idea, and then I realized physical outside in is never my way of working, it's always inside out. So I had to create with Anjali an entire background history of Sarah, which will never be spoken about in the movie, which won't be there in the screenplay, we won't talk about it. But I wanted to create a history of Sarah, where she was born, which regiments her father was placed in, recruited in, when did he die, when did she start having her, paralysis, and what caused it, which doctors did she go through, what kind of treatments did she suffer, how painful was that, when did she give up, and when did she cry, when did she stop crying, when did her mother become her best friend. These are the kind of questions which I need to tackle for me to understand how positive this girl is. Otherwise it looks like a cardboard cutout from a self-help book, always smiling person. I mean, it's almost unreal. We cannot believe such a person will exist unless and until there is a painful past that they have overcome. So I wanted to live that in my head. So almost a week and a half, I lived on a wheelchair. I did that on a manual wheelchair first because I was sure that that is what she would have done first. And I had to improve my stability on my arms because for Sarah, for her to pick herself from the chair to the bed and bed to the chair and to the bathroom, she had to do that on her own with her arms. And I had to lose my certain slim nature a little bit because without the bowel system working very well and physical nature, she wouldn't look exactly like a model. So that I did. She had to look a little out of shape. And that was decided on. So those little things happened for almost a month and a half. And when I was on set, it just worked out well. And when I came back to doing it again, I realized those preparations, this is the kind of thing when you're really, your heart is in it, those kind of things come back for you. It's like a little bag of tricks which will never go away. You can always reach in and they're there for you because you did this with that, you did that with an honest art. And that same background story of Sarah is what I used for Bangalore Natkal as well. But the way she reacts, the way she showcases her emotions is a little more pronounced, if not exaggerated, in Bangalore Natkal. And that is just the taste and the choices of the director, but definitely not in a distasteful manner. Those are things which are actually there in Bangalore. There are a lot of buses which actually provide such services. Bangalore, in a lot of companies, it is important for the company to run, where if there are staircases, there has to be a ramp as well. These are things which are made sure in big companies which are there in Bangalore, which is not there in most of the other states. And that's a very sad state. But of course, unless and until we go through a disability like that, we can never understand it. And I will never assume that I know what it feels like because I can never imagine. Because I have all my limbs working and all my mind, I think, is working right. I don't know if that is very healthy. But at least I know that whoever is going through it are putting up a really good fight to live a normal life. And I think normal people like us are making it very difficult for them to do that. So that definitely sunk in. So when I see people who are struggling, I try to help, not in a very patronizing way, oh, I'm so feeling so sorry for you, but in a way that I'm so sorry we've made life for you so difficult. It's a daily phenomenon. If you don't think about this every single day, there is such a thing called convenient activism. As long as it doesn't affect our free time sitting in the couch watching TV, it's all right to write on Facebook about things and feel so sorry for everybody. The minute it affects our life, we stop. So I don't believe in convenient activism. I believe in things which you actually feel for it, and if you feel for it, you better have the guts to go for it and make things easier for others. So I try learning and I try changing things as much as I can, but of course it has to be a collective effort. All right. I don't know how I do that. I think with each character that comes, I have to dive in with the knowledge that I have no clue how I'm going to do this. Because the minute a character comes in, the very first thing, what do we do when we meet a new person? We put our perspective about life, what we know about life as the background, and we keep them there and we judge. We say, oh, this is not just right. Oh, this is okay. I mean, yeah, you're balancing it out right here. Because we always put our perspective as the benchmark, as the standard way of living. And I think that is a false way, of a wrong way of living, or looking at others at least. We can live our life with our perspective. And I think as an actor, it is my constant attempt at humbling myself, at looking at myself and saying, no, Parvati, you have no right to go ahead and tell other people how to live or what to think or judge them for their choices. And that's what each of my characters have done. Like when I heard a Panimalar, the very first thought could have been, I mean, does she do nothing else in life but love Maria, and what is she? Or when I meet Boo, Mari, again, I mean, Tangarasu, is that the only thing she's thinking about? And then when I do Aditi, she's grieving. She's doing a lot of other things, but she's also grieving the death of Rehan / Karthik. And then now Sarah. And Sarah's whole point or dramatic need of life is not to win Arjun in life, but she has a aim in life. But I'm still wondering, how is this girl so positive? So I am judging every single character. The first time it comes to me, I can't help myself. I have to judge them because that's what we are taught to do. That's what our very raw way of thinking is. But then what makes us different than animals is the humanity in us, which will stop us and make us respect others. So I think that's what each character of mine has helped me do. After each movie is done and over with, after it's released few months later, is when maybe if I meet a person like Sarah, I would be a bit more understanding than judging.